Hello everyone, welcome back to What If Deku Fell in Possessed Sands. Where we left off, Deku was studied on and was kind of in a laboratory for a good week, as Gaster was also in a laboratory for a week, kind of getting his cannon powers from prototype souls or a made soul. Explosion appears in the underground. Somebody appears. Betty Nor appears, attacking everyone and kind of destroying everything in her path, as also absorbing the souls. As the city or town, whatever you prefer, is kind of being burnt down, while Chara and Frisk handle it. But due to the speed and inevitability and, the possession able for Betty Nor to possess and do a couple other things to people, Deku is kind of chilling, just relaxing, as eventually it goes to Undyne, which Undyne almost dies, but Azrael appears with, all the souls, stealing them from, kind of all the hidden places of the souls. So, yeah. After that, he kind of, Super Saiyan practically, and just gets his body back and practically attacks Betty Nor. But due to her abilities to possess and do other things, she'll kind of possess, I guess, not right now. Also, she'll be able to outmaneuver him with speed, but not with power. And eventually, he would get damaged enough where the souls will attract, as the souls are out of his possession, and eventually he gets possessed and practically attacks Chara. As Chara is being attacked, something inside Betty Nor, kind of a blue light, kind of forms or, appears in Betty Nor, as Betty Nor starts to scream as something happens. And if you know who's about to be coming to the fight, then you know this man ain't holding back. You mess with one of them, you mess the entire colony, bro. Yeah. This very short time, over a week, Deku or Sans will be able to know anyone. And practically, he would have a very strong attachment to everyone, as having them all as a family and as friends. As practically, that's not what gets Deku there, though. What really gets Deku there is that Papyrus is there. And what happens is that, while being possessed by Betty Nor, Azrael kind of attacks Chara. Chara kind of holding back because he knows that's, best friend, and, she knows it's best friend, so yeah. She kind of avoids it, but same with Frisk. So they kind of hold themselves back from killing them, as, that's when the chance happens, as, as eventually Azrael will eventually break out of this kind of possession, as, it's already too late, as Azrael already has an entire Frieza line, won't in the heart, practically, as a giant spear hits, or just a very thin pink spear hits Azrael's heart, killing him. Enraged, Chara and Frisk practically go ham on Betty Nor, but due to their unresponsibility of actually coming up with a plan and defeating them, Betty Nor kind of outmaneuvers them in speed and stamina. So yeah. Azrael also, Mettaton is also dead. So yeah. Eventually Papyrus is there, like right when Betty Nor was about to attack Chara or Frisk. Papyrus, the great Papyrus is here to the rescue, as orange bones come from the ground, hitting Betty Nor right full on the face, kind of attacking her straight on. As Papyrus doesn't notice this is a big threat, noticing that it just looks like a normal human and nothing else, as Papyrus kind of underestimates the human like substance. Yeah, if you know where I'm going, thus you know what's gonna happen. Poor Papyrus. Papyrus gets attacked. Gets impaled by like 17 different spikes from the ground, pink spikes from the ground, being eaten by Akuma, having his soul used. So yeah. That's when a blue light shines. The determination, the patience has run thin. The power of one that has great patience has run thin as the one and only. Ugh. Well, I guess I made it off time. I could have saved him. I'm not mad. You feed off anger, do you? You feed off anger, fear, and hate. That means I can't have any in my being, meaning that you're gonna be a very hard person to fight. I have one question to say to you, human. You wanna have a bad time. As the entire field is filled with bones. Yes, bones. Blue bones, as something new appears. As giant skeletal hands appear out of the ground, grabbing Betty Nora and kind of squishing her to the floor. As other bones kind of cover Betty Nora, making a coffin, or a bone coffin. Eventually absorbing her stamina and her health away to kind of feed Deku the strength he needs to win this fight, due to him only having 10 health and being very, careful with that. Knowing that everyone here practically has more health than Deku, so yeah. Anyways, what's gonna happen is that Deku's gonna take some hits, real hits. Deku gets hit at least a good 5 times before he has to release the bone coffin, due to Akuma and, Betty Nora kind of the same wavelength of mind intellect. So yeah. Akuma sees Sans and kind of tells Betty Nora, this ain't good. Fun fact, this is actually the person I was born from. As you know, in this timeline, Akuma was born when Deku fell from his hatred, fear, and kind of anger. So yeah. And eventually, scientists also... can't say the word. Yeah. A historical scientist practically appeared, try to, study the statues above Overworld, and, kind of having Taker's daughter to work day, as his daughter proceeded to kind of enter this small, cave, and practically caught the eye of Akuma, as Akuma, which is Sans' hatred and all the negativity, going into Betty Nora, as Betty Nora practically becomes evil, sociopathic, and practically charges killing everyone in her path, as she has a pretty decent kill count right now, at least a good 15 about, so yeah. Not anymore, this man, Sans was like, I ain't holding back, so, bone casket. As you know, practically. How is this possible? A monster overpowering me. It's impossible. I'm not a monster nor human. Unlike these two more of the human side, I'm neither. I'm more of the lines of monster, even though I look completely human. But of course, having a human soul, or practically, technically, 2 souls. Let's fight. As you know, a Mortal Kombat fight practically breaks between both of them. As you know, they're taking blows equally. They're equally unbound with each other. Equal fights. But Deku does have the superiority. But eventually, due to the amount of souls Betty Nora has eaten, she would eventually become strong enough to slightly overpower Deku. Due to Deku kind of... He do gotta hold back due to, Chara, Frisk, people still there. He can't go all out before, destroying the entire area. Because if he did, he would kind of prevent the thing he's trying to do. He's kind of save them instead of kill them, so yeah. And eventually it would lead to Deku being stabbed in the torso. Yeah. And not killing him, but kind of permanently having Deku's health at 1 HP. And meaning that Deku has now dramatically had the power to run like the Flash. Meaning that he quickly overpowers Betty Noir insanely. Yes, the attacks are still hitting him, but it's more of the lines of him using Bone Shield to kind of block everything. And use these giant bone hands and just bone things in general just to kind of outmaneuver and kind of use an ultimate Uno reverse call on Betty Noir. As eventually he does notice every time he does attack Betty Noir, a critical attack, he does feel something in with himself that kind of disappears. Deku does not realize it due to the adrenaline hitting him, but eventually Gaster does reawaken from his stamina drain and kind of push Deku out the way before being attacked by a blaster. Because Betty Noir is able to take over others' blasters, taking over Gaster blaster and kind of shooting Deku with it. But before then, Gaster kind of was like, whoa, push out the way, push shove, and kind of save Deku's life as Gaster's kind of in critical condition right now as Deku kind of uses a very strong move. Meaning that he about to do a one-hit move, an ultimate move, meaning that there is no Betty Noir after this. But right in between that fight, Deku has seized his brother. Papyrus. As Papyrus, or, the last essences of Papyrus kind of tell him, this isn't the way. As Deku kind of just drops all the weapons he has, goes to Betty Noir as kind of like Neo, just absolute from Matrix, kind of just dodges every single attack Betty Noir goes to him or attacks with him, practically dodging all her fights and eventually grabbing a big hug towards Betty Noir. As what would happen is that the Akuma will calm down, being reunited with its, owner, true owner at least. And practically the entire series ends right there. But due to the fight, it opens up a barrier, or destroys the barrier due to the amount of fighting. As that is where I leave this video off. The Betty Noir arc has ended. Now we're going to the My Hero Academia universe. Everyone, goodbye, and I'll see you in the next What If.